If you're an entrepreneur, you probably know this feeling, right? Deep down. You're juggling everything.
Oh, yeah.
Content, clients, the money side, maybe bringing people on board, and then somehow trying to, have a life.
It's a lot.
And you probably started simple. To-do list app, maybe notes, basic calendar, which is fine for a bit.
Works at the start.
But then things grow, complexity creeps in, and suddenly that simple setup is just, well, it's chaos.
It really is. That's the classic point, isn't it? Where growth kind of hits a wall. It's not just more tasks, it's different types of tasks, things depending on other things, maybe other people involved.
Yeah, even just freelancers.
Exactly. And your simple list just can't keep up if you want to move things forward efficiently.
Precisely. And that's really what this deep dive is all about. How do you get through that chaos?
Well,
Find the right project management tool. Not just for listing tasks, but one that actually helps you grow the business smartly.
yeah, making that shift.
Welcome to your marketing department, where we share the best tips for marketing your small business. And the full link to this topic is down in the description. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss our latest update.
Today, we're pulling from some really great insights from Vicky Wu and Unscrewed Marketing. Vicky's got like 30 years experience, high-level stuff, CMO, CEO, Fortune 500s, huge organizations.
Wow. Yeah.
Even nonprofits with basically no budget. And now with Unscrewed Marketing, she's bringing that kind of know-how affordably to entrepreneurs like you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, focusing on building that solid marketing foundation, helping you pivot if you need to, and, really getting the most bang for your buck, boosting traffic, leads, sales strategically.
And their whole angle is that getting organized operationally, well, it's absolutely foundational to hitting those growth goals. You need that base.
Makes total sense, right?
Yeah.
You can't run a brilliant marketing campaign if everything's falling apart behind the scenes.
Exactly.
So our mission here is to go beyond just features. We really want to unpack what these project management tools actually do for scaling. We'll look at specifics, ClickUp, Trello, Asana, Airtable, but through the lens of different kinds of entrepreneurs. And the big goal is to give you a way to figure out which tool fits your needs and, crucially, how to actually use it well day to day.
Yeah, it's about moving from just like surviving your to-do list to actually proactively managing your workflow so you can grow.
Right. So let's unpack this. Unscrewed Marketing points out, you can start with a Notes app or Google Calendar, but they hit a ceiling fast.
You really do.
The second you need to coordinate anything beyond just your own simple list, especially if you plan to scale, you need something, well, beefier than just a basic task manager.
That is exactly where the dedicated project management software becomes, well, essential. It's not just a dumping ground for tasks. It's really a system designed to streamline your whole operation.
Streamline, yeah.
Think about what actually drives growth, right? Smooth communication, having processes you can repeat, understanding where your time is actually going, automating the boring stuff.
Oh, automation, yes.
These tools offer things like built-in time tracking, automation features, spaces for teams to collaborate, building custom workflows, stuff simple apps just can't touch.
And what I found really insightful from Unscrewed Marketing stuff is how the type of business you run directly shapes which tool is likely going to work best for you.
Exactly. They use these great examples of different entrepreneurs to illustrate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you talk about Ashley Kim. She runs TikTok Treasures, solo entrepreneur, jewelry resale, heavy on social media selling.
Okay.
So her big challenges are planning content, tracking inventory and orders, and just keeping up with customer messages coming from everywhere.
Right. Scattered. Then there's David Green, Elite Biz Solutions. He's a coach, does a lot himself, but uses freelancers for things like design or bookkeeping. So his needs are more around managing client workflows, delegating tasks clearly to those outside helpers, and this is key for him tracking billable time accurately.
Super important for coaches.
And then there's Sarah Thompson. She's scaled Home Pro Services home repair, cleaning to over $1 million. She's got full-time staff, contractors.
Okay, bigger operation.
Much bigger. So her challenges are way more complex. Scheduling staff efficiently, assigning tasks based on location or skill, needing reliable time tracking, maybe linked to payroll.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And making sure communication flows smoothly between the team and with customers, too.
3 really different business models, right? Each with its own unique set of growing pains that project management needs to solve.
Totally. And Unscrewed Marketing has seen it all, basically. They've worked with tons of clients using every tool imaginable, figuring out how to make them work.
Absolutely. And drawing on all that real-world experience, Across all these different business types, they've got some pretty clear takes on how tools like ClickUp, Trello, Asana, and Airtable measure up, especially for entrepreneurs focused on growth.
Okay, good. Let's start with the one Unscrewed Marketing seems to lean towards quite a bit for scalability. ClickUp. They call it the all-in-one solution.
That's kind of their headline for it, yeah. Its big strength, especially if you're growing, is just the sheer range of features packed into one place, integrated.
Integrated, right.
And Vicky Wu points out that even the free plan is incredibly generous compared to others. You get stuff for free that you'd normally pay for elsewhere. And the paid plans, very reasonably priced for the kind of advanced stuff you need for serious scaling.
Okay, so if you're just starting out, keeping costs low, what's the core power in that ClickUp free plan?
You get unlimited tasks, 100 megs of storage, and crucially, different ways to see your work. List view, Kanban boards, dragging tasks across columns.
Yeah, to do, doing, done, love those.
And calendar view. Plus, it includes basic native time tracking and a really handy feature where you can email tasks right into a list, or even email from a task. Keeps communication connected to the work.
Okay, that's pretty solid for free. And then the step up. The paid plan, around $5 a user per month. What does that unlock that's really key for growth?
This is where the scaling power really kicks in. Unlimited automations. These are those amazing time savers that just do repetitive stuff for you.
Game changer.
Totally. Like automatically assign a task when the status changes. Or create follow-up tasks automatically. The free plan has a limit, but unlimited. Huge. You also get advanced time tracking with reporting vital for billing or payroll, custom fields, so you can track unique info about tasks or clients.
Okay.
And advanced views like Gantt charts or timeline view, which are great for seeing how projects flow and depend on each other. Plus, unlimited storage and integrations.
Okay, let's map ClickUp onto our examples. Ashley at TikTok Treasures, the solo seller. How does it fit her?
Well, for Ashley, honestly, the free version is probably more than enough. She can use the different views, right? Plan her content visually on a Kanban board, track her orders in a list view.
Makes sense.
And that email to task thing helps her pull in inquiries or order confirmations right into her system. No need for paid features, really. It easily handles her current level of complexity.
What about David, the coach at Elite Biz Solutions, working with freelancers?
ClickUp seems almost tailor-made for David. He needs clear delegation. ClickUp handles guest users, so he can share just what freelancers need to see.
Right, permissions.
He needs time tracking for his billable hours. It's built right in. Emailing from a task helps centralize communication. And as he grows, refines his client onboarding. That paid plan's unlimited automations and custom fields. They become super valuable for streamlining those repeatable processes. Plus, the whole workspace folderless structure helps organize different clients.
Okay. And Sarah at Home Pro Services, managing the bigger team.
Sarah probably gets the most benefit from ClickUp's advanced paid features. Scheduling, tracking employee productivity, using detailed time tracking for payroll. These are complex operational needs.
Yeah, serious stuff.
ClickUp is built to handle that kind of thing natively. For her, the investment in a paid plan directly solves her biggest headaches around team management and just making things run efficiently as she scales.
So ClickUp sounds incredibly versatile, especially if you've got scaling on your mind. What's the Unscrewed Marketing take on Trello, then?
Trello, they describe as simplicity in task management. Its main strength is that visual clarity. It's all about those Kanban boards.
Right, very visual.
It's fantastic if your top priority is ease of use, minimal learning curve, just for basic task tracking. But the trade-off is, well, fewer advanced features built right in compared to ClickUp.
Okay.
Unscrewed Marketing notes, its free version is a bit limited in how you organize across different boards, unless you start paying for integrations, what they call power-ups.
Gotcha. So what's in the free Trello plan?
Unlimited cards, those are the tasks. Up to 10 boards, so like 10 projects or categories, basic task assignment, due dates, and one power-up integration per board. You might use that for a calendar view or simple automation, but just one.
And the paid plan, what does that add?
That unlocks unlimited boards and critically unlimited power-ups per board, so you can organize more and integrate more features. Bigger attachments, priority support too.
Okay, how does Trello work for our entrepreneurs? Ashley, the TikTok seller.
Trello's visual simplicity could definitely work for Ashley's content calendar. Or tracking orders using columns like planned, creating, posted, shipped.
I can picture that.
Yeah. But managing inventory, customer messages, that would still likely need separate steps or other tools. If you think you'll grow significantly or need more integrated stuff later.
Which most entrepreneurs hope to do.
Right. Starting with a tool that scales with you more fully maybe like ClickUp's free plan, might save you headaches later. Trello can work, but you might hit its limits or need paid add-ons faster.
Okay. David, the coach with freelancers.
David would probably find Trello too limiting pretty quickly. Key things he needs, like built-in time tracking, robust automations for client workflows, they just aren't core Trello features.
Right, that time tracking is crucial for him.
Exactly. Getting client emails tied to tasks, managing delegation without clear reporting, gets clunky. He'd end up needing too many external tools or paid power-ups.
Yeah.
Just less efficient than platforms where that stuff is native.
And Sarah, managing the growing home pro team.
Oh, Trello's just not built for Sarah's level of complexity. Managing multiple employees, scheduling diverse tasks, tracking team productivity, linking time to payroll. Those need robust features for complex task and team management that Trello simply doesn't offer out of the box. Trying to make Trello work would force her to juggle multiple separate systems, which is exactly how things get missed when a service business grows.
Okay, so Trello. Great for visual simplicity, but hits a ceiling for complexity. What about Asana?
Asana gets highlighted for its intuitive workflow for task management. It definitely has a reputation for a clean interface, pretty straightforward task management.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It is stronger than Trello in offering some useful built-in workflow automations, which is a plus. But similar to Trello, it generally lacks that advanced time tracking and detailed custom reporting right inside the platform itself.
What's the free Asana plan like?
Pretty generous for organizing tasks and projects, actually. Unlimited tasks, projects, messages. Multiple views like list, calendar, Kanban boards, and some basic workflow automations included.
And the paid plan starts a bit higher than ClickUp, around $11 a user.
Yeah, the paid tier unlocks more powerful advanced automations. The ability to add custom fields to tasks, track specific data points, custom reporting capabilities, and those Gantt or timeline views for project planning.
How does Asana fit our entrepreneurs, Ashley first?
Asana could certainly work for Ashley's content planning, tracking sales tasks. The clean layout is nice. The free features are probably enough for her right now. But similar point to Trello, really. If she anticipates needing deeply integrated features later, like advanced time tracking or very specific custom data tracking tied right into her workflow as she scales, she might eventually need other tools or find a platform like ClickUp more comprehensive in the long run.
Okay. David, the coach.
Asana's ease of use is definitely a plus for David managing client tasks, delegating to freelancers. The basic automations could help streamline some simple client flows.
But the time tracking again.
But that lack of native advanced time tracking is still a big hurdle for his specific business model. He'd still need an external tool for that, creating a kind of disjointed system.
Right. And Sarah, with her big team.
Asana's workflow features are useful, sure, for organizing bigger projects, team tasks. But again, no robust native time tracking that can easily feed into payroll or handle detailed resource allocation for her staff. It means Asana still falls short on solving some key operational complexities Sarah faces at her scale.
Okay, that brings us to the last one, Airtable. Unscrewed Marketing calls this the spreadsheet dashboard hybrid.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique beast. It mixes the familiar feel of a spreadsheet with the power of a database, relational power. It's incredibly flexible, super customizable. But while some people do set it up for project management, that's not really its main purpose. And getting it fully configured for PM can feel a bit like, jamming a square peg in a round hole. Takes significant setup effort compared to tools actually built for PM workflows.
What does the free Airtable plan offer?
Unlimited bases, think of those as separate spreadsheet or database projects. You get grid view, the classic spreadsheet look, plus Kanban and gallery views, 2 gigs of storage per base, and some basic automations.
And the paid plan, starting around $10 a user.
The paid tiers add more advanced views, like Gantt and calendar, more powerful automations and integrations, and significantly more storage per base, up to 20 gigs.
How does Airtable stack up for our examples, Ashley?
Airtable's strength in data tracking could be helpful for Ashley if inventory management becomes a really complex core need that has to link directly to her tasks.
Maybe down the line.
Maybe. But using it just for project or content management might be overkill, adding complexity compared to simpler tools if those data relationships aren't her main focus.
David, the coach.
David could definitely build powerful databases in Airtable, track client info, project stages, maybe even delegate tasks. But creating a system that feels as intuitive and purpose-built for workflow management, delegation, and time tracking as, say, ClickUp or Asana, That would likely take a lot more setup time and technical know-how.
Higher effort, potentially high customization payoff.
Exactly. Higher initial effort.
And Sarah, Home Pro Services.
Airtable is actually a pretty powerful option for Sarah, specifically because of those database capabilities. She could build really comprehensive bases to track employees, contractors, client properties, appointments, maintenance schedules, link them all together.
Right, managing complex data.
Exactly. Makes it strong for managing the data side of her business. However, integrating all that into a seamless, intuitive project and team management workflow scheduling tasks, tracking time for payroll, team communication that would require significant custom building within Airtable. Potentially more effort than just using a tool like ClickUp that's already built for those PM workflows.
Okay. So looking across the unscrewed marketing analysis, the main takeaway seems to be that each tool really has its own lane, right?
Yeah, a distinct strength. ClickUp offers that comprehensive scalability, lots of integrated features for growth. Trello gives you visual simplicity for basic tasks. Asana focuses on intuitive workflow, but lacks native time tracking. And Airtable excels at customizable data organization, but needs more setup for pure PM.
Okay, that's a fantastic breakdown of the tools themselves, but here's the million-dollar question, right? How do you, listening to this, figure out which one is actually right for your specific business, your work style?
Yes. The decision.
And unscrewed marketing is a really great framework for this.
They do, and it's refreshingly direct. Instead of just giving you a feature list, they suggest you really assess your own work habits and your critical business needs. Use a structured reflection process.
Reflection, okay.
The goal isn't finding the perfect tool in every tiny detail. It's about identifying the one that absolutely nails your must-haves, the things you need to enable growth.
So what kinds of questions should you ask yourself?
Things like, how complex are my projects, really? How many people, internal, external, do I need to collaborate with? Is built-in advanced reporting or time tracking absolutely essential? How critical are automations for my future efficiency?
How do I like to see my work? List, board, calendar.
Exactly. What other software do I need to connect with? Do clients need access? How do I prioritize tasks now? Do I need custom fields for unique project data? How sensitive am I to the budget? And just fundamentally, what's my task management style?
And you don't just answer these in the abstract, right? You think about how each tool we discussed actually aligns with your answers.
Precisely. You filter each tool through the lens of your specific needs and preferences. That starts to show you which one fits best. But here's the most crucial step in their framework.
Okay.
After that broad assessment, go back and identify your top 2 or 3 most critical needs, your absolute non-negotiables. What features, if they're missing or need clunky workarounds, will actively stop your business from growing effectively?
Like for unscrewed marketing themselves, right? When they picked their tool, unlimited automations were non-negotiable, key to efficiency.
Yep.
Integrated time tracking was vital for ROI, granular permissions for guest access, essential for client work. Those were their pillars.
Exactly right. By focusing on those critical priorities, you cut through all the noise, all the million features, and you make a targeted decision. One that truly supports your business's most important scaling needs. It's about being strategic, not just picking the shiniest tool.
Identifying those critical needs, that feels like such a smart, practical step. Okay, so you've done the reflection, you've picked a tool based on your priorities. Now what? The next hurdle is often actually using it effectively day in, day out.
Yeah, adoption is key.
And Vicky Wu and Unscrewed Marketing shared some really powerful, but actually quite simple task management strategies that can make any tool work harder for you.
Yeah, these aren't about completely overhauling everything. They're habits, really, that can dramatically improve your workflow.
Yeah.
First up, they emphasize having a designated brain dump list or space in your tool.
Oh, I love this idea. It's just like a catch-all place for every random thought, task, idea, snippet that pops into your head during the day, stuff you don't need to act on right now.
Yes, exactly. An email that isn't quite project-related yet, an idea for blog post, a link you want to read later, a random personal reminder, anything. Just dump it there quickly.
Frees up brain space.
Totally frees up your mental RAM. You know it's captured. You don't have to keep juggling it, trying not to forget. You can deal with it, organize it, prioritize it, delete it later during a dedicated review time.
And they also suggested, if your tool allows it, like ClickUp does, setting up a completely separate personal workspace alongside your business one.
Oh, this is brilliant. Great for boundaries and holistic organization. Why get your business tasks perfectly sorted if your personal life is still on sticky notes and random emails?
True.
Use that separate space for groceries, home tasks, personal goals, Financial reminders, bill due dates, subscription renewals. Keeping it mentally separate helps with work-life balance, but having it in the same app means anything with a due date, business or personal, can show up on one calendar view if you want. Nothing falls through the cracks.
Another key strategy: prioritizing and categorizing tasks, going beyond just due date.
Absolutely. Don't just have a list with dates. Use tags, labels, custom fields, whatever your tool calls them. Categories like high priority, urgent, low impact, waiting on someone.
So you can see at a glance what matters.
Exactly. When things get busy, you look at your list and instantly know what needs attention now versus what can wait or is blocked. Helps you focus your energy where it counts.
Unscrewed marketing also really leans on automations to streamline things.
Oh, they swear by them. If your tool has automation like ClickUp or Asana's paid plans, learn to use it. Eliminate those repetitive manual steps.
Like what? Give me an example.
Simple stuff. When a task status changes to complete, automatically notify the next person.
Yeah.
Or automatically create recurring tasks for weekly reports or monthly admin reviews. Vicky Wu mentioned one where moving a task to a certain status automatically assigns it to her assistant.
Nice.
And another rule sends it back to Vicky when the assistant marks it complete. Think of the click saved, and it ensures consistency.
That example really shows the power. Okay, another tip, simple but often missed. Actually block out time for admin tasks.
Yes. Entrepreneurs are so bad at this, right? Letting little admin things pile up until they're overwhelming.
Kill.
Treat admin time like a client meeting. Put it on your calendar. Make it recurring. An hour each morning, maybe, or 2 hours Friday afternoon. Use that block to tackle follow-ups, filing quick emails, organizing that brain dump. It stops the small stuff from constantly interrupting your important work.
They also stress not overcomplicating your system right at the start.
Yeah, start simple. Pick a few key lists or boards, maybe just a couple of priority tags. Don't try to build the ultimate, most complex system on day one.
Why not?
Because an overly complex setup is harder to learn, harder to stick with, and can actually slow you down. Unscrewed Marketing says start lean. Then review regularly, maybe monthly, quarterly, and see where you can realistically add more complexity or streamline things as your needs actually evolve. Don't build for problems you don't have yet.
Okay, smart. Tracking time on all your tasks, even non-billable ones, was another powerful tip.
Yeah, this isn't just for invoicing. Using the time tracking feature, like the one built into ClickUp, shows you where your time actually goes.
The truth hurts sometimes.
It can. You might find out writing that quick email actually takes 15 minutes. Or a task you thought was easy eats up an hour. Understanding those time sinks helps you see the real ROI of different activities. It helps you figure out where you need to delegate or automate or just simplify. Vicky Wu uses it to see if the time spent on, say, a blog post actually generates enough return.
Data-driven decisions, even about your own time. And finally, making regular review a habit.
This kind of ties it all together. Schedule time weekly, maybe monthly at least, to look through your main task lists. Check the brain dump, review ongoing projects, look ahead at deadlines.
Like a system checkup.
Exactly. That structured review keeps you organized, makes sure nothing important slips through, and gives you that crucial space to reflect. Are my priorities still right? Are they aligned with my growth goals? Do I need to adjust course? It's the maintenance that makes the whole system work long term.
These strategies, coming from Unscrewed Marketing and Vicky Wu's experience, they're not just about being neat. It feels like they're about deliberately designing your workflow to cut down on friction, clear out the mental clutter,
Yes.
and free up your energy and time.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, having the right project management tool, and more importantly, using it with smart habits like these, it isn't just about managing projects better. It's about reclaiming your mental space, reclaiming your time so you can actually focus on the strategic work that only you can do.
The stuff that actually grows the business.
Stuff that grows the business lets you operate in your zone of genius.
That freed up mental capacity, that extra time, that's arguably the biggest ROI you can get from a really solid project management system as an entrepreneur.
It fundamentally shifts you from feeling, constantly overwhelmed to feeling actually in control.
So, as you finish listening to this deep dive, here's something for you to think about. Consider those task management tips we just covered, like the brain dump idea, blocking admin time, maybe just tracking your time on one type of task this week. Which single tip feels the most doable for you right now?
Yeah.
Which one could you maybe implement this week to start getting back a little bit of time, a little bit of mental space? Or thinking back on the tools ClickUp, Trello, Asana, Airtable, and considering your most critical business needs. Maybe it's automations, maybe time tracking, maybe just clear visual simplicity. Which of those tools seems like the very first one you should perhaps explore a bit further to really help your business scale effectively? Just something for you to ponder as you move forward.
A few months from now, you're either going to be relieved that you fixed your marketing or regretting that you didn't. The guesswork, the wasted budget, the missed leads, it doesn't have to keep happening. Grab your 360-degree marketing assessment now at unscrewedmarketing.com and let's get you a strategy that actually works before you lose more time chasing tactics that don't.